Hello, welcome to Levant TV headlines. The Kurdish YPG militia have captured a town from the Islamic State fighters in northern Syria after a month of long offensive against the ultra-hardline militants in the area to cut their supply lines. Turkish police have detained dozens more suspected Islamic State and Kurdish militants in early morning raids amid a crackdown on the armed groups and the airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. The Saudi-led coalition fighting Houthis in Yemen has suspended its air war to allow desperately needed aid deliveries, but clashes persisted in several areas on the ground. Israeli police have clashed with Palestinians at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in the Israeli-occupied Old City, using stun grenades and tear gas against the Palestinians. And the British Foreign Office has ruled out airstrikes against Islamic State targets in Libya in response to last month's beach attack in Tunisia that left 30 British tourists dead. Now let's have a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers from the Middle East. Starting from the Lebanon, the Daily Sali is reporting that a major highway linking Beirut with South Lebanon has been reopened after around 500 protesters had blocked it for a second day, triggering clashes with security forces that left 7 people wounded. The paper also reports that Social Affairs Minister Rashid Derbas says Tuesday's cabinet session is destined to fail, stoking fears that Prime Minister Tamam Salam may resign if no agreement to the cabinet's decision was made. From the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that Yemen's Houthi rebels rejected the ceasefire declared by the Saudi-led coalition waging an air war against them, according to a message posted on Twitter on Sunday. The paper also reports that Iran's foreign minister has called on Gulf Arab neighbors to cooperate against the common threat of terrorism, extremism and sectarianism, but insisted that Tehran's regional policy will not change. From Cairo, the Egypt Independent leads reporting that a third child has died at the Benis Touway Fever Hospital after he was given a rehydration solution that caused him to have an acute intestinal infection. The paper also reports that the public prosecution has filed a claim accusing the head of a misdemeanor court in Nasr City of demanding sexual favors in return for biased rulings in cases he was presiding over. And now papers here in London. The Telegraph leads reporting that the Foreign Office has relaxed its travel advice for Iran, now considering the vast majority of the country safe for British travellers. Until July the 25th, the British government advised against travel to the whole of Iran, but changed its recommendations partly because of decreasing hostility under President Rouhani's government. The Independent leads its Middle East news reporting that King Salman of Saudi Arabia's row with French beachgoers has intensified after French authorities closed the public beach ahead of the monarch's summer holiday, despite a petition against the closure gathering more than 100,000 signatures. King Salman and his 1,000-strong entourage are on a 3-week holiday, with the king staying at the family's seafront home in Vallauris. The Guardian leads Middle East news section reporting that a Palestinian man has died during an attempted arrest by Israeli security forces, the third such fatal incident in less than a week. 20-year-old Mohammed Abu Latifa was killed after being shot and falling from a roof as he reportedly attempted to flee an arrest raid in Kalandiya refugee camp near Ramallah. Now let's have a look at the top Middle East headlines in international papers. From Berlin, the Deutsche Welle reports that Israeli police say that they briefly entered Al-Aqsa Mosque during clashes with Palestinian protesters ahead of demonstrations planned by Orthodox Jews. According to the Reuters news agency, police used stun grenades as they came to dismantle makeshift barricades set up by masked youth. And finally, the International New York Times reports that the United States have agreed in general terms on a plan that envisions American warplanes, Syrian insurgents and Turkish forces working together to sweep Islamic State militants from a 60-mile-long strip of northern Syria along the Turkish border. The plan would create what officials from both countries are calling an Islamic State free zone controlled by relatively moderate Syrian insurgents. And for more updates, please visit Levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, and bye for now.